On the subject of, oh my, oh my, did I misread the signs? The fan fiction. This one was really weird. So it was a Fluttershy fan fiction, and what happens is she spends some time with all of the other main six and thinks that they all like her, and that's the whole thing. And then they're like, we don't like you, actually. We do like you, not like that, though. And then Fluttershy kind of is just like, I don't know. And that's the end of the story. Okay, so Fluttershy has a dream about a stallion that she is in love with, and she's like a princess or whatever. And then, she wakes up and she's like, I gotta go to the spa day, Angel Bunny, because I'm late, and Rarity's gonna be mad. And Angel wants her to get a cupcake for him, so she's like, okay, I'll get you a cupcake. So then she takes off towards Ponyville, and then, and then, what happens is she gets caught in like the town, like where everybody's selling and buying, and Applejack's there, and she talks to Apple Bloom for a second, and she's like, I'll buy an apple. And then she's gonna buy an apple, but Applejack is like, you don't gotta buy apples from me. We're best friends, and she gives her an apple. And then Fluttershy is like noticing like just normal things, like, oh, Applejack is being a little bit more friendly today. Who would just give? And then she's like, oh, she winked at me, and she's like, does Applejack like me? And then she goes to the spa day with Rarity, and then Rarity's being normal too, but Fluttershy's like, oh, she's being really kind and she's getting close to me, and does she like me too? And then she runs away from Rarity because of that, and she goes to see Twilight, and then Twilight wants to do experiments on her because that's all Twilight is good for in these stories most of the time. Um, Helping solve problems and experiments. So, anyways, it's the same thing. Twilight's getting really close to her and stuff, and Fluttershy is like, oh man, she likes me a lot, and then she runs away. Then she goes to Sugar Cube Corner to get the cherry cupcake for Angel, and Pinkie Pie's nice to her and gives her a hug, so then she's like, oh, Pinkie Pie likes me. And then she's going home, and Rainbow Dash is there, and Rainbow Dash is like, I've come because everybody said you're being weird, and I'm taking you because we need to talk. And then Fluttershy is like, Rainbow Dash likes me. So then they get to the Golden Oaks Library, and then they're all like, yeah, you're being really weird, and we were worried about you. And Fluttershy's like, oh, it's because you all like me. And they're all like, we all don't like you in that way. We like you because you're our friend, but not in any other way. And then they're all like, we like stallions. And apparently, not Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie and Twilight have special or ponies that they like. I would assume that alludes to Flash Century and Cheese Sandwich. And then, yeah, they all clear up the misunderstanding, but Fluttershy is still like, she's still like internally like, I kind of have the suspicion that you guys like me. I don't know. And that's the end of the story. And it was a rom com, but it's like a really one trick pony rom com. Cause like, so like at first you're like, oh, that's pretty funny. She completely misread Applejack's kindness as flirting, and then it happens again, and you're like, oh, okay, so are we just gonna get like 5 scenes of? And then it happens again, and you're like, oh, we're just gonna get 5 scenes of. And then it kind of happens with Pinkie Pie, and you're like, oh, okay, this is short. And then it happens with Rainbow Dash, very short too, and it's like, oh, we're only gonna get really short scenes then. And then it just kind of is resolved, and you're like, okay, that was there, and it's like there was nothing really like no really big jokes or anything where you could be like, yeah, he was really trying to make me laugh or anything. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, he's just kind of he's just kind of sticking with this what is it called, structure. He's gonna stick with this structure and kind of just finish it off, and he did, and it was not bad. It wasn't meh, and it wasn't bad. Uh, all of the characters were pretty spot on, except for maybe Fluttershy was kind of weird because she thought everybody liked her, and it's like that's weird, Fluttershy. um, but yeah, it wasn't as good as like the more recent ones that I've listened to. Obviously not, because considering A Spell for Lyra was one of those, and Overture was one of those, and honestly, My Limitless Lily was really really good too. Um, yeah, you're not really gonna get close to those, but um, yeah, this one was good. I liked it. I thought it was a little sweet. Um, um, I think the reason that this one probably especially didn't work was because you chose Fluttershy. It would have it would have been, but I guess it's because Fluttershy is shy that a misunderstanding like this could happen. So I guess it makes some sense. But yeah, it was a good little 30-minute story. I didn't have a problem with it, and there was the person who wrote it obviously has a good understanding of like the main six because everybody was pretty spot on with the way that they acted. I think. So yeah, I give it a I give it a good 3 stars out of 5 stars. This is pretty good.